First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Good Samaritan, a regional healthcare center offering a variety of services from primary care to same-day joint replacement surgery and more. Good Samaritan online at gshvin.org. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence, promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by WVUT viewers like you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to First City Focus. I'm your host, Allison Bowers. On this episode, ingenuity and strength have been the driving factors behind a new shelter in Vincennes. We'll talk with the organizer of Golden Touch Housing and Support Services. The 25th Annual Watermelon Festival was a scorcher, but that didn't stop the community from coming out and enjoying it. We'll show you the highlights. Another local festival is growing larger every year. We'll learn about the plans for this year's Sandborn Fall Festival. We have these stories and more right now on First City Focus. Thousands of people in Indiana struggle with homelessness every day. And if you are thinking that is a problem exclusive to places like Indianapolis or Fort Wayne, you would be wrong. I'm here today with Mahogany Barnhardt to discuss the new homeless shelter right here in Vincennes. Thanks for joining me today, Mahogany.
Good morning, I'm glad to be here.
So tell me, where did this idea come from?
My mother, the founder, she kind of had this project in mind where she wanted to start a group home for women. And I was already feeding people across the street at Greg Park while working at the Golden Touch restaurant. We kind of combined those two things and started our own shelter.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that that's a really big step. And I was just asking you, you're not from the Vincennes area, but you seem to be giving back a lot. How did you end up here?
I'm originally from Chicago. I came here for school. After I finished my schooling, I wound up adopting a kid while working at the youth village. His family is from the Vincennes, Indiana area, so I kind of stay here so that he can have that connection with his family.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So he is going to be 21 in June. So
yeah, like you said, you got an education degree from here at Vincennes University.
Yeah, here at the university.
And so you kind of have some of that background in, learning about kids and learning about how, the struggles that some kids go through in the public school system and things like that. So that kind of gives you, I think any of our educators around here kind of know some of the struggles that maybe the general public wouldn't be aware of, that some of our families and kids are going through. But creating this shelter kind of gives you this place to give help.
Yeah.
And like you said, you had a restaurant before this. Tell me how Golden Touch became the restaurant to the shelter.
Well, when we first did it, I had to go up against the board because we have the house on Perry Avenue. It's a smaller house. I didn't know the need was going to be as big. We do have one other shelter in town, so I didn't think it would be as big, but it was. We ran out of space there really quick, probably like the first or second week open.
Wow.
So I started to have my guys remodel the restaurant so that we can have a bigger space.
Yeah.
And I completely stepped away from the restaurant because I was spending too much time with this project. So
Yeah.
it was the best balance, I felt like. Also, I learned from opening a food truck first, then going to a restaurant, that you kind of make more money on the food truck side of the deal because you can move around versus sitting in one spot for the restaurant. So,
Right.
And I started the food truck before the restaurant, so I was used to a different amount of money than what I was bringing in, and then I had all these other utilities. So I was like, you know what, let's just do this.
Yeah. And I think that you're a different type of shelter than the existing shelter here in Vincennes. Is that correct? Can you explain that to me?
I've spent a lot of time donating to that shelter, so I don't really know much. I do know that they do emergency placement. We do have transitional on ours. We want to transition people back into the community as best as we can. Right. So we are looking into like getting them into some of our rentals and not charging them the full deposit or the full rent so that they can slowly transition back into the community. So we are doing that with our individuals, just until they can get a place.
Right. And you have had, you've had some full numbers, right? You said your first shelter is full.
Yeah, completely full.
From times, So, and that's probably people of all ages.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Our youngest resident, 7 months old. Our oldest resident is 62, so you never know.
You just never know who's going to need help, even for a short amount of time, right?
Yeah.
But places like this in our community are really what gives people hope, I think. Right? I mean, do you see people come in and then you give them just a little bit of help?
Yeah, you can see a big difference, a big difference. I require them to complete 10 hours of community service, and it's not like anybody granting us so that we can stay open to do this or anything like that. It's no obligation. It's just that I've came up with the idea of everybody doing 10 hours of community service. But when these people get out into the community, even we recently picked weeds at the Minotoni Park, the new park, and those people got out there and it's like it made their day. They came home happier, they felt needed, and that's what we want for people in our community. It's gonna help them do better and perform better as humans. So.
Oh yeah, the work is needed. I mean, there is work that needs done, and there's people who are willing to do it.
Yeah.
But it's people like you that kind of put them together, right? And it gives them, and then you're getting all these things accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
recently, my dad donated a van to our shelter, so we do have that, and I've been able to transport people to places that they need to go. And then we do things as like a group, even if it's just church on Sunday, we'll do something as a group. Mm-hmm. And we have that transportation now to help us a little bit.
That's a great element to have.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just getting all of the resources kind of built up, right? And you've been at this a very short amount of time to have all these resources. When did you start?
I say I've been feeding the homeless for the last probably about 2 years. I would donate to the shelter here in town once a month. So I already kind of had my foot in the door with that. But as far as like starting my own shelter, it literally was this year.
Yeah.
A little bit into, I'd probably say like last November, I kind of had the idea, but I wasn't really like foot on the floor trying to like open it up until like January.
Well, it's a big step.
Yeah.
It's a big step for someone to take, right?
Yeah,
and it's just you and your mom, right? And then a board.
Yeah, we have a board. My parents have been super supportive. My mom and my dad still work full time. Right now we don't have a whole lot of granting, but we're praying for the best so that we can stay open. But right now they're being pretty supportive in like paying the utilities and everything like that to keep us open.
Wow. Yeah. So if community members do want to help, how can they donate? How can they reach out to you?
My number is pretty public on the website, but it's 812-890-8029, and they're welcome to come to the Washington Avenue location. I'm usually there every single day.
Okay. Do you have a list of things that you're needing donated, or?
Yeah, we do have a donation list. The need is crazy. Right now we need toilet paper. No, I'm just kidding. But we need small things, just the average things that you would need to just survive, Mm-hmm. Heart to Heart has been super helpful with helping out with our baby, so we have that part covered for the most part.
Yeah.
We had a lot of different people in the community have been like helpful with like donating food and stuff like that. So we haven't ran out of food or anything, so that's been a blessing.
Yeah, right. What would you want people to know about the people in your shelter?
They're just regular people. They're just regular people that need a push. I know that whenever I was going up to against the board, it was so frustrating because we had other people, especially at the Perry Avenue location, from the community that didn't want to see it happen. And I was so adamant on explaining to them that, this is what we need. This is what's going to help those people that are walking around during the day because they don't have anywhere to go. And it's not easy to run a place that's 24 hours. I'm still really young, and I like to go outside just like everybody else,
right.
So it's not an easy task, but I'm here and I'm doing it as best as I can.
Yeah, I mean, talk about, putting thoughts into action. You know, I mean, sometimes things like this take multiple people and, multi-million dollars, and you are just like doing it on your own. You're out there, putting in the work, and that's amazing. And I think, to find out there's babies there, and to think if you weren't there, where would they be? That's just such a needed place in our community, and you are providing that.
Absolutely. It's scary, just doing the interview intakes of different individuals and parents with kids, and just hearing how they have to live and sleep and things like that. It's tough to even listen to. So yeah,
I'm sure. And I'm sure, like you said, you get them in and you give them help for just a little bit of time, and you can help them. You can help them get into a permanent place. You can help them find, transportation, job, healthcare. Like you said, you're working with Heart to Heart. We've had them on here before, and I know they do wonderful work, and just connecting people to the right services.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes people don't know where to go. And it takes someone like you to say, okay, let's sit down. Let's figure this out, And if they're getting a safe bed to sleep in that night, I think people underestimate how good a good night's sleep can be for somebody. Just one good night's sleep. They wake up, they're thinking clear, right? They're less stressed. Their body can kind of calm down a bit, and then they can figure out where are we going to go from here.
And we got a lot of people that's out here that's on like SSI and set budgets, and their body can't physically work a job,
Right.
and like their income can't pay the bills. And so we have those individuals, and we have been trying to work with them and get something in place for them, whether it's a house where they're each renting a room to come together,
right,
and make the payments that needs to be done, just so that they can have a comfortable living and a comfortable life.
And safe.
Safe.
Just a safe place to sleep.
Yeah.
It's such a huge thing. And like I said, it takes
I noticed one lady, she had a bunch of blisters on the bottom of her foot, but she was staying at a place that only housed people overnight. So she would spend the most of her day walking through the community. And her body wasn't physically able to work a job. So now she has the opportunity where she can come and stay with us, and if she needs to sleep for a couple hours throughout the day so that she can be productive for the rest of the day, we are allowing that for her.
Yeah, that's amazing. What you're doing, Mahogany, is just amazing for our community, and I think that the impact that you're making is so large. I know that, like it seems, and I'm sure it doesn't seem small to you, but people are starting to hear, what is this? I wonder. But I think it's just a huge impact, and you are such a community hero, and I really thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
To tell us more. And if people are wanting to know more, you have a Facebook page.
Yes, I do.
And a website.
Yep, I have a Facebook page and a website. We are looking for donations and grants. Feel free to stop by, even if you want to just volunteer.
Yeah, anytime, because you're open 24/7.
Yes, I am 24/7. Even if you can't sleep throughout the night and you want to come by for an hour, I'm open with that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mahogany.
Thank you.
Like I said, to keep up with Golden Touch Housing and Support Services, you can follow them on Facebook or check out their website. This year was the 25th annual Watermelon Festival hosted by the Knox County Chamber of Commerce. The heat index was over 100 degrees most of the day, but that made the watermelon taste even better.
And of course, every kid and parent on the stage is a winner in my book. Thank you for participating, making this a fun contest.
So you're giving up your crown today. How do you feel?
I am. I'm excited that somebody else gets to experience it. I think it's a really great opportunity for a lot of young women to do.
Watermelon is Emily Bible.
All right, who's next? Okay, come on up. What's your name?
Last year's champ Samuel.
Last year's champ Samuel. How far did you go last year? 32. Okay, let's try that again. Up here. And here we go. Whoa, what is it this time? 20 feet. Nice job.
Give her a jump. Oh, good throw. Woo!
God
We all had a great time representing WVUT and WVUB radio that day, but I sure was glad to get home to the air conditioning that night. Another festival that is coming up and will hopefully have slightly cooler weather is the Sandborn Fall Festival. I'm here today with organizer Renee Schottmeyer. Thanks for joining me today, Renee.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about the Sandborn Fall Festival. What year is this for that festival?
This is the 8th year for this festival. It used to be known as the Black Creek Festival, but whenever the fire department took it over in 2017, we kind of wanted to revitalize it, and so we renamed it the Sandborn Fall Festival, and then in 2023, it became incorporated with an own organization called the Friends of Sandborn Fall Festival. That is a 501c3 nonprofit. And so then we just keep growing it every year.
Yeah, I've attended, and it seems like every year it just spreads out further and further there at the park. What are the dates of the festival this year?
It is the 4th weekend in September, so it'll be Saturday, September the 26th, and Sunday, September the 27th.
Okay, so if people are looking for something to do that weekend, what should they expect? What's your plans for that Saturday and Sunday?
There is a ton. So we start out on Saturday, the 26th. We have the Sandborn Volunteer Fire Department doing their pancake breakfast, and their pancakes are made from scratch using my husband's recipe. That is a free will donation. That's from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. There's also a 5K walk or run that starts at 8 a.m. Then at 10 a.m., we have a pet parade and awards. Also starting at 9 a.m. all the way through 5 p.m., we have over 100 vendors that are going to be set up throughout the community building and throughout the whole entire park. There's a baseball tournament going on for the youth. There's a kids fun area in our pickleball court, so it's a fenced-in kids area that our park board is putting on. There is music all day long, starting at 10:30 a.m., going all the way to 8 p.m. At 5 p.m. we start a Jonah fish fry coming in, and so that we will be doing that as a fundraiser for the festival to help us to continue on for later on. And during that fish fry and the music, we have a bingo that's benefiting the park, and then we close out Saturday night with fireworks at 9 p.m.
Wow.
So then we come in on Sunday morning, and we have a community church service at 10 a.m. Then the praise team from the Sandborn First Christian Church continues to play for an hour after that. The baseball tournament continues on. The kids fun area continues on. There will be a car and bike show from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., as well as a community varsity blood drive in the community building in the front room of that from 11 a.m. to 2:40 p.m. We still have music continuing on, and as well as all the vendors until 3 p.m.
Wow, that is a packed full weekend.
It is a very packed full weekend, and we call it the big festival in a small town for a reason.
Yeah, it really is. So tell me about some of the music you have coming in.
We start out from 10:30 to 12:30. We have Gary Phelps coming in, and he is the one-man Johnny Cash tribute band, and he is absolutely amazing. Sounds just like Johnny Cash. From 1 to 3 on Saturday, we have Ricochet Vincennes doing old school music. Then from 3:30 to 5:30 is the Mystery Train, and then from 6 to 8 is the Lowrider Experience. And then on Sunday, we have the praise team for an hour, and then we have the Burning Daylights Blues Band.
Wow. Yeah. So you have bands coming from, they're kind of spread out.
Yeah, they're from quite a distance for some of them, and some of them are local. And we still have other bands that still message and want to get on the roster, and so I have a backup list.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I think that just being at the festival, and you get a lot of senses. You have smells of food trucks, and you hear the music, and it's just a happy area. How many food trucks do you have?
I think I have 6 food trucks coming in, plus there's a lot of other food vendors that are going to be throughout as well.
Right. And like you said, there's bingo, and there's fun for all ages. What's in the kids area?
In the kids area, there is a small bounce house. There's yard games, and there's a lot of other things that the park board has got set up.
Okay. And it seems like you said, there's things inside and outside. Mm-hmm. So even if you have bad weather for some reason, yes. There's still plenty of things to do in the really large community building that's there. That's a nice community building that Sandborn has. And it seems like Sandborn's making a lot of improvements lately.
We're trying.
And yeah, the baseball park is really nice. And tell me about the baseball tournament that's going on during the festival.
The tournament is a 13U tournament, and it's $150 for a team to enter, and they can get a hold of Jason West for any of that information to get signed up.
Okay. And you said the pancake breakfast, there's a pancake breakfast in the morning, and then there's a fish fry, and there's food vendors. So I think people can come and get every meal, right? That entire weekend, right? So they should be set.
All different kinds. We've got pulled pork coming. We have Mexican meals. We have grilled cheese. We have all kinds of, we have a special dessert truck coming. We've got some different drink trucks coming. So, I mean, there is whatever you are hankering at that point in time, you can get it filled.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of food vendors at the Knox County Fair. So if people have hit those up and then they've kind of been missing them.
Yes.
Now's the perfect time.
We do have at least 3 from the Knox County Fair that is coming to the festival.
Yeah, so it gets them their fix of those trucks that they were missing.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
And for those who haven't been to Sandborn, there's also a massive playground.
Yes.
Right. So this festival is just happening kind of like all in this
around
park,
it.
all around the park. So it's a perfect place for families to come. I mean, I remember I've kind of shopped before and my child's been playing on the playground kind of simultaneously. It's a perfect environment for a a And I think there's typically photo booths or photo areas, I'll say, set up.
We have an old truck that happens to match our logo perfectly that is on loan from Ed McKim. And we do decorate it up with the mums and pumpkins and corn shocks. And the pumpkins have been donated by Musen Brothers. The mums get donated by Williams Farms. The corn shocks come from my garden. And so we get it all decorated up. And so there's an opportunity there to be able to take a picture. And then we also have one inside of the shelter house it's enclosed as well. And so that way they can take pictures in a couple different areas.
Yeah. And how did you get involved in this?
How do I ever get involved in anything? So initially, when it was on the fire department, I was a part of the fire department. And so I had gotten involved at that point, and I had stepped back away. The fire department didn't do it anymore. And then the town board at that time had asked me if I would come back and do it again because I had all the information for all the previous vendors. And so we came in and did it, and it grew, and it has continued to grow every year since.
Right, and like you were telling me, before this started, your husband goes out with a 10x10 pipe square and spray paints everybody's vendor spots, right? Because that's how many vendors you have. You said you have over 100.
Yeah.
I mean,
so we have, I think, 32 that are inside the community building gym portion of it, and then we go outside that Thursday and Friday beforehand, and we have a 10x10 pipe, PVC pipe square, and we'll plop it down, and he'll spray paint around it, and he will mark the number, and then he'll move it over if it's a double space or triple space. I have vendors that are bringing more things and asking for larger areas than they had before. So we are definitely growing, and like you said, I am planning those and around the playground equipment, so you can have your kid be playing there while you're shopping in that area.
It's perfect. And like you mentioned, the blood drive.
Yes.
That's like another way that you can come and celebrate, but you're still giving back.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's a perfect. And then afterwards you can fuel up with the food trucks and,
yes.
and the food vendors,
before,
right?
Yeah.
Like, so slightly better than the crackers that they usually give you afterwards. But no, the blood drive I think is an awesome touch. Is that something that's new this year, or is that always been?
No, we've had it for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is an event by the community for the community, and so we really want to, like, we have the Lions Club that comes in, the fire department comes in, the church youth department, they do a lemon shake-up stand. So it is really the community that's coming together, and then we use the funds and a part of the proceeds that go back into the community. Last year we put in a Wi-Fi mesh system throughout the whole entire park, so anybody can go in and to be able to have internet access. And so this year we've been able to give back to some of the baseball leagues. We've been able to give back to the Wreaths Across America. We're giving back to the park for speakers and for microphone systems that they need for some of their fundraisers. And then we're also being able to give back to the library on when they do their kids' stuff. So just making sure we are able to give back constantly.
Yeah, and the Wi-Fi for the whole park, that's like a big city thing.
Yes.
I mean, so for Sandborn to be able to do that and provide that for their citizens, that's amazing, you know. So I think, and then it's a testament to people who care about their communities and really put work into where they live becomes where they love, and you know, then it makes it better for everyone in the whole town. So, and it takes people like you to step up and to organize things like this. So I really appreciate you coming in and telling us, and I certainly plan to be there and hope that it's, like I said,
awesome,
cool weather.
Cool weather and not rainy.
Yes. Well, thank you, Renee.
You're welcome.
We'll see you September 26th and 27th in Sandborn. The 2026-2027 school year has officially started here at Vincennes University. Students are always a welcome sight back here on campus. And that's all for this edition of First City Focus. For everyone here at WVUT TV, I'm Allison Bowers. Join us again next week.
First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Good Samaritan, a regional healthcare center offering a variety of services from primary care to same-day joint replacement surgery and more. Good Samaritan online at gshvin.org. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by WVUT viewers like you. Thank you.